On the list, satisfy your craving. Yet another reason why you should be eating chocolate. Bad foods in disguise. Foods that look healthy but aren't. Plus, a drive-in church. Incredible places to get spiritual. It's Monday, March 25th, 2013, and you're on the list. At number 1 on the list of stories everyone's talking about, Powerball Powerhouse. We now know exactly where that winning Powerball ticket was sold. Turns out it came from Eagle Liquors in Passaic, New Jersey. The winner of the $338 million jackpot has not yet come forward, but that lucky duck has made more money in one day than A-Rod will over 10 years with his $275 million contract. My new best friend also won more with those 6 numbers than the 9 highest paid actors combined. Forbes says those chumps only hauled in $335 million. How will they scrape by? The winner's budget will also be more than Delaware County, Pennsylvania's, which is just $330 million annually. At number 2, Cinderella Bracket Buster. A few weeks ago, they were unknown. Now, Florida Gulf Coast University is the talk of the country. The Fighting Eagles are the first 15 seed to make it to the Sweet 16 in the history of the NCAA tournament. The upset sent what few perfect brackets remained straight into the trash. Top it off with a coach married to a former Victoria's Secret model, and they've thrown sports fans into a tizzy. And these upsets may not be over yet.
Wichita State and LaSalle in the Sweet 16 means we're going to have one of those in the Elite 8.
FGCU will face off against Florida, a number 3 seed, Friday night. Wichita State and LaSalle play on Thursday. At number 3, Supreme Decision. Tomorrow, the Supreme Court will hear arguments on gay marriage, and people are already camping out to get inside. At issue is a challenge to California's Proposition 8, which voters approved and defines marriage as between a man and a woman. If the case makes it through, a decision probably won't happen before June, but it could mean a sharp rise in marriages, changing the way businesses do business, like wedding planners, divorce and prenuptial attorneys, and places that manufacture garter belts, disposable cameras, and the figurines on top of wedding cakes. On Wednesday, the High Court will also look at the 1996 Defense of Marriage Act, which is a federal law that defines marriage as between one man and one woman. That law was passed by large majorities in both houses of Congress and signed by then President Clinton, so states would not be forced to recognize same-sex marriage.
At number 4, news from the world of health and nutrition. Eating rabbits is healthy. I mean the chocolate ones.
You don't have to feel guilty about diving into that chocolate Easter bunny. Researchers in Britain found when a person ate chocolate, blood flow to the brain increased, which may reduce the risk of stroke. The study is the first to show a direct connection between components of chocolate and blood vessels. No mention of whether Easter grass is high in fiber. Coming up later in the show, we'll take an in-depth look at Easter candy. At number 5, I'm a lumberjack, and I'm okay. A precarious position for pro golfer Sergio Garcia at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. When the Spaniard's ball got lodged in a tree, he had 2 options: take a one-stroke penalty and drop the ball to the ground, or climb the tree. Garcia climbed 15 feet into the tree and hit a one-arm shot. And now you are caught up and clued in on the top of the list.
I mean, this is golf gone National Geographic.
Now let's ditch those Monday blues with punchlines in the news.
I read that Starbucks recently bought a 600-acre coffee farm in Costa Rica. They're not going to grow coffee there. They just need a place to stash all the unpurchased Sarah McLachlan CDs.
You heard about this new coffee that's on the market? It has 200 times more caffeine than regular coffee. 200 times. We have some of it here. It's called Tweaker's Choice. Can you get a shot of Tweaker's Choice? Look, it's endorsed by Nancy Pelosi. Look, see?
Put on your oven mitts, because this is almost too hot to handle. Pop culture, burning like a hibachi grill on the hot list.
No one's loved as much as you by the people. Don't waste that power.
Get ready to emancipate yourself from real life for 2.5 hours, because starting tomorrow, Lincoln is syncing up with your DVD player. Daniel Day-Lewis got an Oscar, and now you can get his performance at home.
Blood's been spilled to afford us this moment. Now!
In the mood for something fluffier? How about snuggling up with Orville Redenbacher and pop in Billy Crystal and Bette Midler's parental guidance?
We need someone to watch the kids, so I was wondering, would you want to?
We'd love to! Old school clashing with new school as Billy and Bette have to look after their 3 grandkids during a business trip. No Oscars for this one, but fun for the whole family for sure. Also starring Marissa Tomei and Bailey Madison.
I want to be the guy that introduces you to Nashville.
Oh, he's gonna play that card now.
And I have won The Voice before. Go ahead.
The Voice is back for its 4th season premiere tonight. High hopes for hordes of contestants, but 2 of the mentors are out.
You are a true star.
I just hate to see somebody as talented and beautiful as her end up as an experiment on 2 different coaches who's never even been on the show before.
Replacing CeeLo Green and Christina Aguilera are 2 performers with 1 name each, Usher and Shakira. And we know her hips don't lie. Finally, a new must-see from the upcoming Iron Man 3. The ever-modest Tony Stark is back and he's showing off that super ego we all know and love.
You know, it's moments like these when I realize what a superhero I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a TV spot released this past weekend for the Kids' Choice Awards. Fly in on a fireball May 3rd for a snarky Stark and some heavy metal. Iron Man, burning like forged steel on the hot list.
There's a habit many of us have no intention of breaking, and it actually involves breaking bad. We don't just sit down for one episode of Breaking Bad or Downton Abbey or Friday Night Lights. We tuck in for entire seasons at a time. Binge watching, it's what's trending.
One episode, and then we go to dessert.
Okay.
Okay, it was good.
That's so well done.
Do we have time to watch one more, you think?
I think so. So good.
Battlestar Galactica and Portlandia are just 2 of the many shows folks are now binge watching on Netflix and on demand. This new habit of viewing multiple episodes of a show that's already been broadcast is why Netflix posted the entire season of Kevin Spacey's drama House of Cards all at once.
I know he made you a promise, but circumstances have changed.
The nature of promises, Linda, is that they remain immune to changing circumstances.
We did that on purpose because we know that people watch it when they want to watch it, and it's also really easy to go back and watch previous episodes if you want to. House of Cards is like a 13-hour movie, essentially, where some people like to watch it all at once, and that's perfectly fine. We give you that kind of freedom.
TV critic David Bianculli compares binge watching to reading a novel. We spoke with him via Skype.
If you read a really good book, there is that wistful moment when it's over that there's no more, that you can't read it the next time you go to bed.
Some novels are really long. The Wire would be War and Peace, and to some of us, it is.
When I was on maternity leave, I watched all 5 seasons of The Wire within a month.
I so envy that. I envy people being able to see that without having to wait a week and try and keep everybody's names straight and the plot straight, and you just go.
Now, excuse us, we have some serious Homeland episodes to watch.
You have a disease.
Binge watching, it's what's trending.
Next one, next one, next one.
Here's a kind of binging that's a little sweeter. Americans buy over 120 million pounds of candy during the Easter holiday. That's enough Peeps, jelly beans, and chocolate bunnies to fill more than 4,600 dump trucks. So let's take a look at Easter candy by the numbers. What's your favorite Easter candy?
This.
Americans spend $2.1 billion annually on Easter candy. 70% of all Easter candy sold is chocolate, including 90 million chocolate bunnies. When it comes to eating our chocolate bunnies, 76% of Americans think the ear should be eaten first.
I like to feed chocolate. That's silly.
16 billion jelly beans are produced for Easter. That's enough to circle the earth 3 times. Parents, listen up. Kids prefer red jelly beans, and 75% are willing to do extra chores for more Easter candy. Jelly Belly makes 50 flavors of jelly beans, from cantaloupe and butter popcorn to cappuccino and Dr. Pepper. My all-time favorite Easter candy is Marshmallow Peeps. Did you know during the Easter holiday, Americans buy more than 700 million of these things, making them the most popular Easter candy outside of chocolate. Haven't had enough sweets? It's the 60th anniversary of Peeps, so let's get a cake. By holiday, people eat the most candy on Halloween, 90 million pounds. But Easter is a close number 2 with 71 million pounds. 4 out of 5 dentists recommend Easter candy for people who celebrate holidays. And that's Easter candy by the numbers.
Easter and Christmas are the 2 holidays that pack church pews in many parts of the world. And there are some unique churches to fill. Among them, a Lego church in the Netherlands. a church made of trees in Italy, and a chapel made of bones in the Czech Republic. Shaq Shackelford visited some unusual churches right here in the U.S. that believe traditional brick and mortar is so first century.
From cinemas to shopping centers, if you think these church locations are weird, you're preaching to the choir.
And I was like, there's a church in the mall? Who does that?
But the once skeptical Kristen Webb is now a member of Revolve, a church inside a mall in Tulsa.
I'm not so much interested in how big we are. I'm more interested in how much of an impact we make.
It's the lower cost of preaching, the higher power in retail space that was a driving force for Revolve. The low building cost is also what's behind several churches popping up in industrial parks in Phoenix. For Cincinnati pastor Paul Taylor, whose Rivers Crossing Community Church is housed inside an old movie theater, it's not about less money, but less intimidation.
To strip away any pretense is a really effective tool.
They've even repurposed the original marquee and poster cases.
And it keeps some of that old movie theater vibe as well, which people resonate with.
The concept is nothing new to John Meisenbach. His New Beginnings Church has been docked in Tampa for 50 years.
Come, but never go to where the people are.
His place of worship is a ship.
Oh, the boat in the parking lot. Yeah, I know where that is.
His parishioners have fewer excuses to miss, since they don't even have to get out of their car. The sermon plays through the radio, drive-in style, and if you don't like it,
they can pull on out. We don't put tacks in their tires or anything.
For these pastors, it's not weird or wacky, just a way to spread the word of God, and they don't want to miss the boat. For The List, I'm Shaq Shackelford.
Bad food in disguise. 3 common snacks that sound healthy but aren't. Plus, fictional products you've seen on TV making an appearance in the real world. Next on The List.
State of mind. These are the country's most unhappy states.
The List is on Facebook. Like us to see what's new. Share your favorite stories. Join the conversation. The List. Get on it.
We're slowly learning that fat-free doesn't mean calorie-free, organic doesn't mean it's automatically nutritious, and light doesn't mean it's healthy. With all the marketing and packaging buzzwords, sometimes you feel like manufacturers care more about fine print than fine food. Here's some labeling lingo to look out for on the Fit List.
Gluten-free.
Organic.
The gluten.
Organics.
Probiotic.
And organic.
Organic, antioxidants, probiotics, gluten-free, diet, and light. They're the buzzwords that somehow make us think we're buying into a health nuts world. But are we really?
Look at the food label. You can look at a food label and get a lot of information. So you have to look at the calories, but where they're coming from.
Dietitian Marie Everett says here are some common food choice mistakes. First, get picky with your wheat bread. Check for ingredients like molasses.
Molasses is what they use to make it look like it's supposed to be healthier because it'll turn the bread a darker color when it doesn't actually have the fiber and the whole grains in it.
So instead of wheat bread, go for the whole grain.
It has the 3 components of the grain. So it's got the bran, the endosperm, and the germ. So it makes you feel full for longer.
Secondly, think twice about your yogurt.
This 6-ounce yogurt has 200 calories in it. It's got 7 grams of fat. It's got 24 grams of sugar.
With some yogurt, you're just wasting a whole lot of calories eating piles of sugar and packing on the fat. Instead, opt for Greek yogurt or even cottage cheese. And lastly, steer clear of string cheese.
It's high in fat. It's got about 80 calories per stick of string cheese, but there's 6 grams of fat.
The trap, one won't fill you up. Go for seconds, and those fat grams pile up fast. Alternative, a lower fat string cheese. Add some fruit to make it a snack that will fill you up. Getting the organic facts for healthier eating on the Fit List.
Come on, admit it. Weren't there times you thought Tony Soprano was actually a mob guy, or you truly believed Don Draper was an advertising maverick, or you came to think of Snooki as an actual She's an actual. See how the lines between what's real and what's fiction blur in this multimedia world? According to Connor Knighton, sometimes what's fiction actually becomes real. Connor, what's the deal?
Real products end up in the hands of fictional film and television characters all the time.
Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor.
But But occasionally, you will see fictional products appear in the real world.
Shrimp soup, shrimp stew.
The Bubba Gump Shrimp Company was just a plot point in the Oscar-winning film Forrest Gump. But after the success of the movie, it became a successful chain restaurant with over 30 locations across the world. The 1997 Nickelodeon film Good Burger was shockingly never up for an Oscar.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
But the fake restaurant is now a real chain in New York. Dunder Mifflin, the fictional paper company from The Office, might be in your actual office. For the last year and a half, Staples has been selling Dunder Mifflin branded paper. And speaking of offices, a red Swingline stapler played a huge role in Office Space, except Swingline didn't make a red stapler at the time. It was just painted red for the film. After the company started getting requests, they decided to manufacture their own red version for the public to buy. South Park's Cartman loves fictional snack Cheesy Poofs. In honor of South Park's 15th anniversary, Cheesy Poofs were briefly real and for sale at Walmart.
I love Cheesy Poofs. You love Cheesy Poofs.
We've had 7-Elevens turned into Quickie Marts, the Bertie Bott jelly beans from Harry Potter, manufactured by Jelly Belly. Fake Wonka has his own real line of candy. You can buy the Sex Panther cologne from Anchorman.
60% of the time, it works every time.
There's even fiction written by a fictional character. Richard Castle is a mystery novelist played by Nathan Fillion on ABC's Castle. In the world of the show, his skill as a writer helps him solve crimes. In the real world, Richard Castle is also a successful writer. ABC and Hyperion started releasing novels written by Castle that have ended up on the New York Times bestseller list. Fictional product crossovers can be big business. I am sure it is only a matter of time before Walter White's Blue Sky Meth comes to a street corner near you.
Viralist.
Downloading the most awesome of the internet. First up, goodbye winter. The weather is starting to warm up, so let's get rid of winter with a bang. It's a Russian versus a snowman. Well, the winner's pretty obvious. Next, it's the Fresh Pup of Bel-Air, starring Will Smith.
In West County Shelter, born and raised, and the kennel is where I lived with most of the strays.
His rough life was changed once he was adopted.
I jumped in the back and without a care, I got all excited, a new home in Bel-Air. After the shelter, I'm finally here. I got a new home, I'm the Pup of Bel-Air.
And a bunch of kisses for his new home. Lastly, it's an ode to sleep-deprived parents. These lyrics won a competition to rework the words of this classic song, and it's performed wonderfully by the Sydney Symphony.
What have you done with my purse?
Check out the choir, also serious.
What was that crash?
This is a song that all of us can relate to.
In the kitchen, they drive you crazy.
Maverick music on the Viral List.
Break from tradition. Take your Easter egg decorating one step further with these unique techniques.
What's on your list of spring sounds? Birds chirping, insects buzzing, sneezing from allergies? How about David Archuleta singing? Like the list on Facebook and you could win a copy of David Archuleta's new album, No Matter How Far. One lucky winner gets a beach cruiser bicycle from Overstock.com. Like the list on Facebook and enter now for your chance to win.
Thanks for watching The List. Here's what we're already working on for Tuesday.
It's better than a free gift with purchase. It's a battle of the beauty boxes. Which one is right for you? Plus, from teens to celebrities, our list of the cutest prom invite fails. Tomorrow on The List.